there is some information about what career is right for people with specific personality types, and you read those things and you're like, I don't really want to be a counselor. I don't want to take on other people's feelings, you know? And a lot of it is, it's information that are traditional careers, because nobody talks about being a life coach, because a lot of people don't see that as being a legitimate career. And it's also something that's pretty new. It's definitely new to me. Only in the last year have I really understood what that is.
Yeah.
So people don't talk about writing and arts and, you know, singing and all of that kind of stuff, because they don't see that as a stable type of career. You know,
Right.
if you go to work and you sell insurance, then you should be more stable than if you want to write a blog for a living.
Yep.
Technically and theoretically, until you get into a situation like I was in. I worked for a company that was 125 years old, that is a household name, and all of a sudden I got laid off because they were downsizing. And it's like, oh, this isn't really stable like I thought it was. This isn't the right thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and there's so much to unpack there, right? Because there's so many beliefs, right? I mean, like within just those statements, there's so many limiting beliefs, right? And I know oh my gosh, for like almost 2 decades, right? Really had a lot of stress and anxiety around like, what's my purpose? And unfortunately, I read the book, The Purpose-Driven Life, in high school or something. And that really, I mean, like, I must have a singular purpose that I need to find. And I'm put here to do this one thing. And if I don't figure it out, I'm a total failure, right?
Yeah.
Like that started all of those stories, which are not helpful. And like you said, you think about what you love, and then, but then at the same time, there's all this pressure, especially when you're, you know, in your 20s, to choose a career that's going to offer stability and success, or whatever, you know, that definition is for you, or that's put on you, I should say, right?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about your purpose, it's like, what are the beliefs that are driving me to feel this way, and how can I challenge them in a way that's going to really serve me, right? So for me, when I, you know, now kind of like what I've learned through that journey is a few things. And one is like, I don't believe there's a singular purpose, right? For each purpose that we're meant to find. I definitely don't think it's something you can identify and then pursue, right? Like, it's something that evolves over time. It's something that when you look back on your life, you might see like in these different instances, right? I think it doesn't need to be attached to your career. Like, who said that your purpose is your career? There's so many like things that I feel like I've challenged within um my own beliefs, that it's like, wow, like if somebody had like sat me down when I was 20 years old,
Right.
no, forget about all of that. Forget about all of that, right? And there's so many ways to like fulfill, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just part of it is showing up as who you are, right? I think I see in corporate America, and I see in so many people, we look to so many people to validate, like, you know, what should I do? What are my strengths? What's my potential? What's my worth? What's my value, right? Like, I know a lot of career coaching advice sometimes says, you know, like, if you don't know what to do, ask people what they appreciate about you. Ask people what they value about you, and what's the value you bring. And it's like, well, why am I assuming that what somebody values in me is what is going to light me up? You know what I mean? It's like, I might be good at something. They might appreciate that about me, but that doesn't mean that's what I'm meant to do.
Right.
Like, why am I not looking inside and asking myself, you know, some questions that are going to help me really? So I think part of it is just, there's so many, there's just so many like places where like this, we're being, I don't know, how do I say that? There's so many reinforcers, right? To that belief, right? It's like, oh, you know, like, and in corporate, right? It's like, my manager gives me my performance review, right? My manager tells me what I'm doing well and where I should be doing better, right? And really, like, the best person to assess me and my strengths is myself, right? Like, what do I enjoy doing? What makes me feel stronger? What makes me feel weaker? And so, yeah, there's so much that you can do, I think, or like advice or ways that you can help people. Maybe like let go of some of the things that they've heard or the direction that they've been, taking, and really help them like tap into that intuition and inner wisdom, and help them reflect on, if I were to like let go of some of that, like,